So this has been highly requested that I do a bit of an update on Joann Fabrics. I know that live stream was those live streams were very popular. And I haven't dug too much into Joann's, but I found a few new articles. Joann's is now on a bunch of these lists of like the top companies we expect to go bankrupt in 2024. So that's probably not a good sign. So let's go into the latest with Joann Fabrics. I did go to the store probably about 2 months ago and did a little bit of investigating. That video is here on the Sewing Report Live channel if you want to check that out. My store was actually decently staffed, but I did notice there was like inventory all over the place. So it looks like maybe the store isn't getting enough labor hours for those employees to be able to properly organize and put away all of the inventory. Just something I noticed. And I did go there to buy the Brother Skitch embroidery machine. They were super nice there though. But I noticed for my personal experience going to Joann's recently is that most of the employees are now like Gen Z age. I didn't see a lot of older employees. It looks like a lot of those people have left from what I can tell. So, all right, let's take a look at what's going on with Joann's here. And yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens with Joann Fabrics this year. I think we're going to see some it would not surprise me if Joann's filed for bankruptcy. I did see a few articles with some store closures. Not a ton of stores, but they did close a handful of stores. So let's see what the latest is with Joann Fabrics here. All right, so this is from CorridorBusiness.com. Joann Fabric facing financial uncertainty. Some experts say the latest numbers indicate the store could be facing impending bankruptcy. All right. Oh my gosh, these pop-ups drive me crazy here. A popular fabric and craft store is facing financial uncertainty after declining sales and heavy debt decreased its recent credit risk monitor Frisk score to 1. Joann Inc., popularly referred to as Joann Fabrics, faced a disappointing fiscal year that experts warn could be an indication of impending bankruptcy. 2023 was a rough year for popular box store chains. Bed Bath & Beyond, Tuesday Morning, and Christmas Tree Shop declared bankruptcy and shuttered their stores, while others closed locations and cut staff as cost-saving measures like CVS and Express. Financial information publisher Credit Risk Monitor conducted an in-depth analysis of several other beloved retailers, and 11 companies were found to have an elevated risk of bankruptcy over the coming year, Joann being one of them. Historically, companies that receive a Frisk score of 1 have between a 10 and 50% chance of filing for bankruptcy. A Frisk score indicates a company's level of financial stress based on the probability of bankruptcy over a 12-year horizon and is 96% accurate. Oh boy. All right, third quarter fiscal 2024 results see drop in sales, but uptick in e-commerce. That makes sense to me. A lot of people are just shopping online. They don't want to go into the stores. I've been kind of monitoring Reddit for, people reporting issues with Joann's, and a lot of customers are saying their online orders are kind of a disaster. Like, they won't get the items they ordered, it'll be out of stock, and if they try to do the order online pickup in store, it's kind of a mess. And they kind of seem to indicate that a lot of the stores don't have enough manpower to fulfill the orders that are coming in. All right, so Joann's 2024 third quarter fiscal results became available on the company's website. Joann lost $21.6 million or 51 cents a share in the quarter, compared with a loss of $17.5 million or 43 cents a share in the year-ago quarter. Sales fell 4.1% to $539.8 million. Same-store sales also dropped 4.1%, including a drop of 11.5% for e-commerce sales. Long-term net debt was $1.148.2 million as of October 28, 2023. With continued progress and strong execution against our strategic priorities, we were pleased with our third quarter results in what remains a dynamic consumer environment. Loyal customers are engaging with us at a greater rate, said JOANN Chief Customer Officer and co-interim Chief Executive Chris DiTullio. Our e-commerce performance was particularly strong with double-digit quarter growth as we delivered a better and faster consumer experience and benefited from site enhancements driving increased conversion. He added, crediting social media initiatives like hashtag Getting Naughty, I'd never even heard of that, which attempted to reach younger audiences with the Tide Not Blanket trend. In light of the uncertain consumer environment, we are working to manage all aspects of the business prudently while leveraging our read and react capabilities. Wow, what a bunch of corporate mumbo jumbo here. Through advanced data and analytics to control what we can control and capitalize on new opportunities as they arrive, said Scott Sekula, the JOANN Chief Financial Officer and co-lead of the interim office of the CEO. That's because the CEO, Wade Miquelon, resigned last year. JOANN has been without a CEO since May of 2023. That's when Wade Miquelon, who I did a deep dive on him, so if you want to check that out, it was in a previous live stream. Corridor locations remain open, no word on future. JOANN Fabric and Craft opened a 25,000 square foot store in 2017 in the Iowa City marketplace and has recently slashed its operating hours from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wow, that's not very much. According to a store employee, the reduced hours are a result of the manager and assistant manager leaving their positions simultaneously. A sign affixed to the front entrance is advertising part-time positions, probably paying minimum wage. According to a store manager at the Cedar Rapids location, no information has been released about the status of chain locations, and they declined to comment further. Very interesting. All right, let's take a look at this other article. Now, JOANN's was put on the list of the 5 stores most likely to declare bankruptcy in 2024. Not a good sign here. Not a very good sign. All right, let's see here. Wow. Sears, Pizza Hut, CVS, Foot Locker, and Walgreens have been shuttering locations as a cost-cutting measure. So I just want to be clear, like Etsy and JOANN's are not the only corporate businesses to be affected by the current economic climate. A lot of other businesses are being affected. Plus, there's rising costs of everything. There's inflation, higher gas prices. That means higher transportation costs. So everything is getting more and more expensive. And your dollar just isn't going as far. And, you know, let's be real. For a lot of people, shopping at JOANN's, shopping Etsy is a luxury. It's not a need. It's not like grocery stores. It's not like housing or your electricity. So, you know, if you got to cut out something, you're probably going to cut out the non-essentials first, like crafting and sewing supplies. All right, JOANN Fabric and Crafts. After doing in-depth analysis into some well-known brands, financial information publisher Credit Risk Monitor concluded that national craft retailer JOANN's Fabric and Crafts is at a very high risk for bankruptcy. Credit Risk Monitor assigns scores. Okay, we kind of went over this with the Frisk score. So they have a score of 1, which is the worst score. Okay, fun times there. Unlike many other brands, JOANN's actually was very profitable during the pandemic as people stayed inside and picked up hobbies that the store caters to. Unfortunately, that momentum hasn't lasted and sales have dropped. The company recently had to lay off employees, and their chief executive officer, Wade Miquelon, retired in May and hasn't yet been replaced. Hey, at least they're saving some money from that, right? With his golden parachute, he just got to kind of sail off to, you know, his cushy mansion, and that's cool. Well, the chain was able to save some money by getting price concessions from suppliers. They also carry a lot of debt, too. I saw another article where JOANN's debt is high and the cost of everything has risen. All right, by getting price concessions from suppliers, there's no word yet on if they also plan to implement any large-scale cost-saving measures like shuttering some of their locations. All right, so some of the other businesses, Big Lots. You know, and I went to Big Lots a while ago, and they just, you know, I remember it being like having better stuff back in the day, like just not a lot of stuff lately that I'm into. All right, Express. When was the last? I have not shopped at Express in years. The Container Store, kind of surprising, but I guess that kind of makes sense. You know, the stuff is the stuff at the Container Store is fairly expensive, in my opinion, for what it is. And there's just a lot of cheap knockoffs you can get. So a lot of people are getting that. Like, I found knockoffs of a lot of stuff at the Container Store at Aldi. So it's like, if you can get it at Aldi or you can get it from Amazon, why get it from the Container Store, I guess. Toys R Us, which went bankrupt, and I think it like reopened or something like that. So, I'm really curious to see what happens with Joann's this year. And let's check out the latest stock price. Joann's has been public, then it went private, then it went public again in 2021. At the height, this stock price was like $16. Hey, if you short a Joann's stock, good for you, because the stock price is now for literally, it's at like the lowest it's ever been. It's 46 cents. So can it go any lower than that? And I know the Joann's stock is at risk of getting delisted just because the stock price is doing so terrible. So that's the latest at Joann's. I mean, I'm going to keep monitoring it and seeing what's going on with Joann's. But, I mean, things are not looking good for Joann Fabrics. But it's like, if Joann's closes, or if they close a lot of the stores, if they have to file bankruptcy, our options for physical retailers for craft and fabric supplies and sewing stuff is getting pretty slim here.